The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Longman Simplified. English series. Read by Duong Hai Thai Puma. Chapter 22. In the Hunter's House. About noon the next day, the boys arrived at the dead tree. They had come for their tools. I say, Tom, do you know what day it is? Said Huck suddenly. Tom thought and then said, with a startled look in his eyes, good heavens, I never once thought of it, Huck. Well, I didn't either, but all at once I remember that today is Friday. Hang it, one can't be too careful, Huck. We might have got into an awful lot of trouble starting such a thing on a Friday. Might better say would. There are some lucky days, perhaps, but Friday isn't one of them. So they gave up their search and played Robin Hood all the afternoon. On Saturday, soon after midday, they were back at the dead tree again. They shouted their tools and marched off. When they reached the hunter's house, the dead silence and the loneliness of the place were so repellent that they were afraid for a moment to go in. Then they crept inside. They saw a dusty room with an ancient fireplace, broken windows, and a ruined staircase. They talked in whispers, listening to catch the slightest sound, and ready for an instant retreat. After a time, they became bolder and gave the place a critical and interested examination. Next, they wanted to look upstairs. They threw their toes in a corner and made the ascent. They found the same signs of this decay. They were about to go down and begin work when Tom whispered, "Shh! What is it?" asked Huck, going as white as a cheese with fright. "Shh! There! Yes! Oh, let's run! Keep still! Don't move! They're coming right towards the door." The terrified boys stretched themselves upon the floor, with their eyes to holes in the boards, and lay waiting. Two men entered. Each boy said to himself, "There's the old deaf and dumb spaniel who's been in the town once or twice lately. I've never seen the other man before." The other, who was talking a low voice, was a rag fellow with an unpleasant face. The spaniel was swept in a big, loose overcoat. He had a bushy, white beard, long white hair flowed from under his white hat, and he wore dark spectacles. They sat down on the floor, and the other went on talking. "No, I thought it's over and it's too dangerous." "Dangerous?" repeated the deaf and dumb spaniel, to the immense surprise and horror of the boys. They gasped and shivered. It was Redskin Joe's voice. "Don't be a coward," continued Redskin Joe. "Isn't coming here in the daytime dangerous? Anyone who saw us would suspect us." "I know that," replied the stranger, "but there isn't any other place and suitable. I want to leave this place. I want to yesterday, but it wasn't any use trying to move out with those actors boys playing all day." "Those actors boys!" Silver again. The two men got out some food and ate in silence. "Look here," said Redskin Joe after a time. "Go back your home up the river. Wait there till you hear from me. I'll risk going into this town just once more for a look around. We'll do that job, which you think is dangerous. Other I've spied round a little and thinks everything's favorable. Then we'll set out for TAoTS together. This seemed satisfactory. Both men soon began yawning, and Redskin Joe said, I can hardly keep my eyes open. It's your turn to watch. He crawled up on the floor and was soon fast asleep. Presently, the watchers began to yawn and he, too, slept. The boy drew a long, grateful breath. Tom whispered, Now's our chance come. Tom argued. Huck held back. At last Tom roared softly, but the first step he took produced such a terrible creak from his rotten floor that he sank down almost dead with fright. He did not make a second attempt. As the sun was setting, Redskin Joe sat up, stared round, and then stirred his companion with his foot. You're fine, watchman, aren't you? It's all right, though. Nothing's happened. Well, it's nearly time to be moving, partner, said Redskin Joe. What shall we do with the money we've got left? I don't know, said the stranger. Left it here, as we've already done. It's no use taking it away till we start south. $650 in silver in a lot to carry. Yes, but it may be a long time before I get the right chance for the job. Accidents may happen, and it isn't in a very safe place. We'll bury in probably. Good idea, said Redskin Joe's companion, who walked across the room, reached one of the big flat stones in the fireplace, and lifted out a bag. He took from it $20 or $30 for himself and the same amount for Redskin Joe, and then passed it to the latter, who was on his knees in the corner now, digging with his knife. The boys forgot all their fears, all their misery, in an instant. With wide eyes, there was every movement. Luck. This was better than anything they could have imagined. Here was the best kind of teachers hunting, without any troublesome uncertainty as to where to dig. The half-breed's knife struck something. Hello, he exclaimed. What is it? Asked his companion. It's a box, I believe. Here, help me, and we'll see what it's here for. Never mind, I've made a hole in it. He put his hand in and drew it out. It's money. The two men examined the handful of coins. They were gold. The boys above were as excited as the men and as delighted. There's an old ratty pig in the corner, said the stranger. I saw it a minute ago. He ran and bought the boys pick and span. Redskin Joe took the pig, looked it over critically, shook his head, muttered something to himself, and then began to use it. The box was soon unearned. Partner, there are thousands of dollars here, said Redskin Joe. I've often heard that Muriel skunk was around here one summer, remarked the stranger. This is probably their money. Well, now you won't need to do that job. The half-breed flowed. a weak light shone in his eyes. You don't know me. It isn't robbery. Altogether. It's revenge, and I will need your help in it. Alright, what shall we do with this? Bury it again. Yes, the boys above were delighted. No, no, deep disappointment above. I nearly forgotten that pig had first earth on it. The boys were sick with terror in a moment. Why are a pig and a spade here? Who brought them? Have you heard anybody? Seen anybody? What? Shall we bury it again? And leave them to come and see the row? Disturb? Never. We'll take it to my place. Why? Of course. You mean number 1? No, number 2. Under the clothes, replied Riskin Joe. Number 1 is not safe enough. All right. It's nearly dark enough to start. The half-breed got up and went about from window to window, courteously peeping out. Who could have brought those tools here? He asked presently. Do you think they can be upstairs? The boy's blood ran cold. Redskin Joe put his hand on his knife, stood for a moment, undecided, and then turned towards the staircase. His step came cracking up the stairs. Both the boys were shivering as if with a dozen fevers. Crash! Redskin Joe landed on the floor. Amidst the rotten wood of the fallen staircase, he picked himself up, crashing, and his companion said, Now, what's the use of that? If anybody's up there, let them stay here. Who cares? In my opinion, whoever left those tools here caught sight of us and thought we were devils or ghosts. I bet they're running yet. Redskin Joe muttered for some time. Soon afterwards, they slipped out of the house in the deepening twilight and moved towards the river with their precious book. Tom and Huck got up, weak but immensely relieved. They had not the slightest desire to follow Redskin Joe and the stanger. They were content to reach the ground without broken necks. They did not talk much on way home. They were too brushy hating them. But for that, Redskin Joe would never have suspected and would have left the silver and the gold. They determined to keep a lookout for that Spaniard when he came to town, especially out for chances to do his revengeful job and to follow him to number 2, wherever that might be.